Hey everybody, it's Frankie Purdy, your Universe United Mrs. 2025. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys today to talk about what we're going to talk about today. It's episode 16, and I want to talk about how do you know what to wear. So we're not going to talk about specifically what to wear for competition, but let's talk about what to wear for appearances, right? You're a current title holder, or you got a state appointed title, or whatever it is, right? And you're getting ready to like make an appearance, do community service, whatever it is you're about to go to, right? So how do you know what to wear? So I will first encourage you to ensure that you read any type of handbook or pamphlets or anything that has been published by your pageant. A lot of times they will talk to you specifically about what you can and what you cannot wear. So you have to be very intentional when you think about what you're going to put on your body, because when you are going out and you put that sash on, or you put that crown and sash on, you are representing that pageant's brand. And so you are a representative of that pageant. And so you want to ensure that you're putting your best foot forward. I know specifically with my contract, there are a few things like we cannot wear. So our pageant director requires us to have like a light beat. So, like, if you think about the lightest beat you could possibly do is like if your eyebrows are kind of like mine are, these are drawn in, right? But if your eyebrows look a little shabby, clean your eyebrows up, put on some mascara, a blush, and a lip gloss. Like that's a light beat for me. Tracking if you maybe have a little bit of skin pigmentation, or maybe some acne, you might want to put on like a foundation. I highly suggest getting like a light powder foundation. That's what I use when I have very bad redness in my cheeks. And so if I'm needing to step it up a little bit, I'll have like a powder foundation that's so easy to use. Um, if I need to get like a light beat. Also, too, your hair, ensuring your hair is properly groomed. I know we love a good messy bun every now and again, but if we're putting that sash on, we want to ensure that our bun maybe is a little not messy and more tight. So making sure our hair is good to go. And then when it comes to actual what you're putting on your body, dress for what makes sense, right? You're not going to wear a ball gown to a community service event. But back to what my director requires of me: no holes in your jeans. Stay away from graphic t-shirts unless it's something specific that you're promoting via the graphic t-shirt. And just maintaining, normal grooming standards. Like, you don't want to look like you just rolled out the bed and put your sash on and went and took photos. Think about that, right? Because being a title holder is a job. That's why you have an interview, right? Like, you're interviewing for a position to see, and the judges are ensuring that you match the fit for the pageant. So that's something to consider when you don't win. Maybe this not the fit. Think about that too. But that's another story for another time. But I know for me, I tend to overdress, right? So I will overdress for a situation, but that's also because I love fashion. So I am a bargain hunter. I love to buy things. Here's a little bit of girl math. I have to buy it when it's on sale, because if not, if I go to buy it at full price, I'm losing money, right? So I'm always looking for pieces all the time. If I was to be going to, let's say, a tea party, because I've done that before, I might wear like an interview inspired type suit. I have a really cute jumpsuit with a blazer that's really cute. I've also worn it for an interview before too. So like things like that, you can do like an interview wear. Today I did a father-daughter sneaker ball, which was super fun. And I wore a ball gown. I wore an evening gown. I won't say I wore a ball gown, but an evening gown. So that was outside the time frame, because there's normally times for different things. Anything after 6 is normally formal. Anything before 6 is normally cocktail. That's like, a dress at the knee. So I did take a bit of a risk by putting on the evening gown, but like I said, I'd rather be overdressed than underdressed, right? So, and then plus you're representing a title. So like there's an expectation that you do look, you know, more put together than most people. So think about that. If I'm in a parade, I have worn a blazer and a beaded two-piece set. Like the pants were beaded and the jacket was beaded. Of course, I didn't wear heels because I was going to be inside of a car. So I just had on like some sneakers or whatever that I like kicked off when I got in there. So that way I wasn't like damaging the seats or anything like that. I did have a car that I used from a local dealership. But anyway, um, that kind of thing. So I'm always looking for pieces, especially like trying to get things like when they're on sale, and inexpensive. If you can buy things off season, so like if you can buy your sweaters in the summertime and maybe get your sundresses in the wintertime, like that, that's a way where you can expand your wardrobe quickly and not have to worry about the cost associated with it, because maintaining and trying to buy a lot of things is it can be very expensive on top of competition fees, traveling fees, and all that jimmy jazz. So with that being said, like I said, remember this, that as a title holder you are holding a position within that organization that you're representing, and so you always want to ensure that you're putting your best foot forward, and that starts with what you put on your body, because unfortunately we live in a society where I look at you and I start to form an opinion about you, and that comes from how you're dressed. So I can give you actually a perfect example. So I went to a fashion show this morning, right? That sounds odd, right? A morning fashion show, but I was there, 10 a.m. fashion show. So I wore this really cute like faux leather dress. It was short and it had like some 3D rosettes on it. And then I added a long pleated sheer skirt. And I looked pretty good. I wish I could like pop a picture up here, like to show you what I had on. I thought it looked great. And when I tell you I caught the eye, because it's at 10 o'clock in the morning. So like people aren't expecting you to come out the house looking like glamazon, right? I'm 5'9.5". If I put on heels, I'm close to 6 feet, right? So like I'm really people are gonna notice me. We'll just leave it at that. So anyway, long story short, I caught the eye of the owner of the dress shop, who actually offered me a modeling position, all because I overdressed. You know what I'm saying? Because I looked the part. She was able to see me made up. She was able to see my hair in a style. She got to see what I look like, dressed up, looking nice. And she was able to, and she offered me a job. So like think about that when you're out and about, you know, ramping around town in your sash, and when you have to show up to places and things, it's very important that you look and dress the part. So like those are just some of my insights. A lot of times your directors will tell you exactly what they expect of you from what you have to wear. If you don't get a lot of feedback, I would highly encourage you to reach out to your director specifically, because a lot of times just because they haven't told you what their expectations are doesn't mean they don't have any expectations for what they want from you. So I always encourage people to communicate consistently with the directors to ensure that they are on par with what the expectations are. Because if you are a contractual queen, if you don't follow your directors, explicit rules, then you could possibly be in breach of contract. And you don't ever want something over as simple as just looking your best. At the end of the day, if you're going out in your crown and sash, do you look your best? Is the question. If the answer is no, then I highly suggest you make a change. If it's like I look beyond good, then I tell you to go out there and rock it. But I enjoyed our conversation. I look forward to seeing you again soon.